Well, a lot has happened in that second session on day one at Kanpur, 72 runs, but more importantly, three wickets, which leave India 154 for four as tea is taken at Green Park on the first day. With Wasim Jaffer and Dan Vittori, this is ESPN Cricket for Match Day. Let's go to Dan first up. New Zealand will be pretty pleased with that session, Dan. I mean, so pleased that I'm waiting for Dan to get a word out. Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. Sorry.
Yeah, brilliant,
You just
brilliant.
froze
I
for a little.
thought you were so excited that you were speechless. You couldn't believe that New Zealand managed three. Right, Dan Vittori is going to be back with us in just a second, right? But I'm going to go to Wasim Jaffer and I'm going to actually ask him to play the role of the batting coach now. When you see one guy getting out in the 20s, another in the 30s, Wasim and Shubman Gill, who had such a good start in the first session, getting out soon into the second one. Just your thoughts on each wicket.
I think Shubman Gill did get out pretty similar to James Anderson, if you remember
Hmm.
in the Chennai test. He did get out through the gate to that incoming delivery, and I think New Zealand came out with a clear plan of bowling fast bowlers and bowling a lot shorter, with the different bounce. I think that was a clear plan, and I think they worked. It worked in their favor. Shubman Gill just stays on the back foot. He does get a little bit late on that fuller ball, and he did get out a few times like that. And all credit to Jemison, the way he bowled, three big wickets, Mayank, Shubman, and Rahane. So all credit to him. He liked bowling against India. He's got a couple of test match, man of the match against us, and again making inroads. Pujara, very unlike him, he does, bat long when he gets in. But I think very smart bowling by Saudi. Jamieson I think bowled shorter to him, and then Saudi made him feel the ball outside off stump. So very good planning, very good execution as well. Uh, Rahane, I think must be very upset the way he got out because I think he looked very positive of all the innings that he played recently. So he'll be upset that he couldn't convert this start because he was looking really really good. He played a ball cut shot probably is the one of the most difficult shots on the pitch, which has got in different bounce. So he'll be kicking himself that he missed out an opportunity. But I think Shreyas Iyer holds a key to Indian score because he's going to play his shots. He's going to be attacking player. We know he likes to play shots, and luckily for India, Ravindra Jadeja, Ashwin, and Akshar, they all can bat. So I think India will be looking, contribution from all these guys. I think in the first session we did say that 350 plus score will be a very very good score, but I think the way the pitch is playing, Ronak, I feel 300 plus will also be a very tough task. Anybody batting from here on, so the pitch is going to get difficult and difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Fascinating insight from Wasim Jaffer. I'll just come to some follow ups on each of those batters in just a bit. Let me just see if I've got Dan Vittori back with me just yet. Doesn't look like I have. So we'll just hold on until Dan connects. But I'd love to talk about Shubman Gill a bit more, Wasim. Now, there is an impression that there's still work to be done on his technique. Now, do you think that is the bigger challenge, or do you believe somewhere there's also a loss of concentration at times when it comes to Gill?
I think more than anything, I think it just gets a little bit late around about getting onto that front foot. That is something which he needs to sort out because when you open the inning, that is the area where most of the new ball bowlers will look to bowl. So if he keeps getting out like that, teams or bowlers are going to target those areas. So he's happy to hang back and play those cut shots and pull shots and the back foot drives. But anything that is pitched up, I think sometimes he does get a little bit late and gets caught behind and get bowled also a few times. So I think that is something he needs to look and work on his game going forward.
Okay, I'll come back to that in a moment. Dan Vittori is with us. Pleased with that session, then, Dan? As good as it could possibly have gone? Can you hear me, Dan?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, this is the session for you to talk about now. You may not get another one in this whole series when New Zealand are on top. So don't. Oh my God, it's jinxed. The internet in Auckland is absolutely jinxed. Okay, I'm going to come back to it. But I'd like to go deeper into the Shubman Gill chat. So many of us believe, Wasim, that maybe his real calling will be in the middle order and that as an opener, we may not see the best of Shubman. Now, with what you've mentioned, need to work on, is it better that he fits the order at some point, or can he still succeed, with these adjustments, even if he's batting as an opener?
I think it just needs to be ready for those fuller balls. I feel he obviously goes deep in his crease, and he likes to play those back foot shots. But like I said, he opens the battings in IPL, he opens the batting in white ball cricket. So that is something, and all his junior cricket he's played at top of the order. So that is something I feel even if he bats in the middle order, that is something which he needs to work on and get better at. Because that is the length the international bowlers at 140 plus are going to bowl. So he doesn't need to get out too many times and make them feel that that is his vulnerable area.
I might get too deep or technical into this, but I'd love to ask you, if you were working with a Shubman Gill, what would be that specific adjustment you make? Would it be about a trigger movement that has him come out on the front foot earlier? Is it about backlift, which can reduce? What would you work on first up, Wasim, with Shubman?
I think his trigger movement, he does goes really deep into the crease and then plays it from there. But I think it's all about getting his head forward to the ball. I think sometimes he just hangs back a little bit even to the fuller balls, and then throws his bat at the ball. So that is something he doesn't need to do. And that is going to be a challenge for him even if he's batting at 50 or 60 like today. Like I said, he did get out to Mitchell Stark in Australia. He did get out to Henderson as well in the England series. So that is something which he needs to do: get his head forward to the ball and get his back leg, coming forward rather than hanging back. So that is something which he needs to work on, and I'm sure he's going to get attended to that.
Brilliant, brilliant from Wasim Jaffer. That now, Dan Vittori, you better be with us. I'm going to spend the next 5-10 minutes with you. Come on, cash in on that session for New Zealand. I hope they have many more sessions like that. But if this is the only one where they're on top, I need more time from you. What do you
New,
make of
Ze-
that
New Zealand internet must be going crazy. We're everyone's so excited about the session that they've overloaded the system. Look, I think I mean, it is a superb session for New Zealand. I think particularly because of the way that Jameson bowled, and I think a lot of ways the way that Kane captain as well. I think you saw him at his best and saw him trying to with Jameson going around the wicket, which is a tactic that New Zealand have used a lot in the past, albeit with the likes of a Wagner trying to do it to left-handed batsmen come around the wicket. But overall, just a really good session, a really hard fought session, and I think they bounced back from the first session and what they learned. And the other part of it was I thought that Somerville bowled really well. I thought he started to ask some questions, and he started to ask some questions because he was trying to actually really turn the ball, and he mixed up his release points, and he just offered something a little bit different even to the Indian right-handers who looked like they were quite sedate against him, and he offered a little bit more than Ajaz Patel, and I think that bodes well going forward, particularly with Jadeja and Axar Patel and those two
then?
left-handers, whether Somerville can be really aggressive against them and try to dismiss them and not leave everything on Jameson, because the workload for him could be quite intense with whatever's happened to Southey.
So much to like about Kyle Jamieson after these two sessions, isn't there, Dan? Tells you something about what he perhaps holds in the future as a bowler for New Zealand?
Yeah, look, I mean, every aspect of it.
It's jinxed. It's just jinxed. But let me go back to Wasim on this. For a guy who's playing his first test in Asia, in India, Wasim, normally a lot of bowlers take some time to get used to bowling on our surfaces here. What's been the most impressive part about Jamieson for you?
I think his length is very immaculate. And like I said, even in the previous two Test matches, or even his small career that he's played so far, he even if he doesn't pick you wickets, he's gonna get the scoring rate in control, and that is something which every captain likes. Even if you don't take wickets, you hold up the runs. So that is something which he does really well, and that puts pressure. I mean, the modern batsman wants to score runs. Not many batsmen bat like Pujara, so they do feel for the ball and then make a mistake. So that is something which is very unique about Jamieson. Somebody who's 6'8" and then keeps hitting those good areas and swings the ball. That is all you want as a fast bowler.
I wonder if Dan's back with us. We'll just discuss Tim Saudi. There was a big moment in that session when he walked off, couldn't complete his 11th over. Just going to wait on for Dan Vittori to come back. But 56 overs bowled Wasim already now with Saudi out. How big a balance shifter is that for India? Is it likely to reverse? Is that going to change the way Ken Williamson has to use his spinners and use now the only seamer in Jameson? How do you see the next session going?
Yeah, I think, like I said, Shreyas Iyer holds the key for India. If he bats, another session, he's going to score runs and score quickly. That is the way he bats, and even Ravindra Jadeja. So that puts a lot of pressure on the spinners and the one fast bowler that they have. So Somerville has given them a little bit of control compared to Ejaz. So Ejaz has to obviously step up, and even Rachin Ravindra, he needs to bowl as well if Saudi doesn't come. So that puts a little bit of pressure on Ken Williamson to how he operates in the next session. Because this next session is going to be very, very crucial. If India runs
Yeah.
away with this session, it's going to be a very vital session going forward in this test match.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel like it'll set the course of this test. Dan on Team Saudi now couldn't even complete that 11th over. That's concerning. Firstly, how big a blow is that, and how does that affect Kane Williamson's planning going into the next session?
Well, it's
Well, we try, and we
a
hope that
terrible
sometimes
injury,
strike two,
and
strike three might
that's
be better.
unfortunate
Dan,
for him
sorry, I've got you
that
back now. So
he's in that
why
situation
don't you
now,
restart that answer for me?
and
I'm sorry,
and
the
obviously
internet
not
goes
able
up
to
and down.
bowl because it would have
Dan,
to
can
be
you hear me?
something quite dire. So look, I think I'm still on here.
Yeah. So just okay. There's a big lag here from Mumbai to Auckland, so I'm just going to keep quiet. Dan, you could just restart that answer, please. And Dan is gone. We're dismissing Dan Vittori. We don't want to talk about the one session that New Zealand have been good at. But anyway, I'll just carry that chat on. Just on Ajinkya Rahane, whether judgments are being made, Wasim, after every innings now. Virat Kohli will return next test. There are only two tests in this series. Then comes South Africa, where Rohit, KL Rahul, you think would all be available and back for selection. Is every innings now an opportunity lost for Rahane?
I don't think he'll be thinking in that manner.
Hmm.
I was happy the way he played. He looked very positive, and that is something which we talked about. That's the best way that Ajinkya plays. He would be upset in the manner that he's got out. So he doesn't want to waste the starts that he get. When he bats again, hopefully not in the second inning, but I think he's going to get another opportunity. So the wicket is going to be very difficult when he walks into bat in the next inning. So every start that he gets is very, very crucial for him. Like you said, KL Rahul is going to be back, Virat is going to be back, Rohit is going to be back. But I think Ajinkya Rahane holds, a lot of importance in that batting lineup because not just his batting, but the way he feels, in the slips or everywhere, and his leadership ability as well. You need somebody. Virat Kohli needs a wise head like Rohit Sharma on the ground and Ajinkya Rahane to make those decisions.
Hmm.
So I think in that context also, I think Ajinkya Rahane holds a lot more importance than just his score. Obviously, we need him to score, but he still adds value in another departments.
Yep, fair enough. One last attempt at Dan Vittori if he's around. If he's not, that's where we wrap the chat up. We've had a lovely analysis of the wickets that fell, including of Shubman Gill and his technique in detail by Wasim Jaffer. But I'm just seeing if Dan's around. All right, Dan, I'm going to give you one last crack at this. I can never tell now if you're actually with me or that's just the picture and frame frozen. So I'll let you give me one final comment on that session, on Tim Southee's injury, and how you see the next one going. And that's just about it. All right. Maybe we will pick up this chat with Dan Vittori at the end of the day, right? Let's hope for better internet connection. It's been good normally. We're in Auckland with Dan Vittori. We had him through the course of the IPL, even for the World Cup final and the New Zealand series. But Wasim Jaffer will be with us. A big thank you to him and to Dan. And we'll see where this test match stands at Stumps on day one. So join us then on ESPN Cricket for Match Day.